Sacred beings, ancient souls, welcome to a spiritual joint. I just sat up here for 10 minutes, thought I was recording. Happened to look up and there was nothing there. Whew. We are talking about respecting the lesson, so that is my lesson for today. Check and make sure that your stuff is recording so you don't have to do it again. Whew. And since I was just flowing, I'm just gonna have to go back and just think about what we were talking about. We're talking about respecting the lesson. We tend to come to these places where things happen, and things happen for a reason. And the reason, I feel, is that it is an attempt to get us to remember who we are, who we are supposed to be, what we are supposed to be, what we are supposed to do. But we tend to hold on to these things as opposed to learning from them and letting them go. We hold on to them, we take them and we stuff them in our shirt, put them in our pocket, put them in our bag, and we carry them with us. And what happens is the lessons repeat over and over until you get it, so you can move on to the next lesson, or until it takes you out, which is another part of the lesson. There are two things that can happen. You rise and move along the spiral, or you drop back into what we may know as a vicious cycle. We keep going around and around and around because we keep doing the same thing or close to the same thing. And if you keep doing the same thing or close to the same thing, you are not going to move past what it is that you are supposed to be learning. These lessons are coming to us for a reason, because we have things that we need to learn in order for us to reconnect and realign with Spirit, with God, with Creator, whichever word you choose to use. That is part of our purpose for being here, is to remember. And we tend to look at these lessons as something other than a lesson. This is all a test. This is what should you call it? We all have to learn things, and oftentimes we don't take the lesson, we don't respect the lesson. Respect is giving an understanding of the rights of others, to, as long as they're not hurting you, to live in their truth. So, in respecting the lesson, we should be giving the lesson that same homage, I'll say, or that same compassion, to know, hey, this is a lesson, this is a test, and I'm going to take that and move on so I can go to the next level. Many times the universe will come and, you'll feel like you have passed the test, and then maybe even years later, it'll come back with the same test just to make sure that, you have passed successfully, that you have done what you needed to do to not have to get this test again. And if you paying attention to the tests that you get, to the lessons that are coming, you will notice that each time that you get the same test until you pass, that it gets more intense. The test gets longer. The questions get harder. But the subject matter, the lesson is the same. And in respecting the lesson, that allows us to realign. We experience these emotions and things when we are out of alignment. And a certain way, the goal is to be balanced, to have a great sense of peace. Not saying that things don't happen, things don't come up, but being balanced, being at peace is what allows you to maintain your alignment. It's when we're out of alignment that we don't respect the lesson, that we don't pay attention to the lesson, that we don't recognize that we are being questioned as far as, are we going to make it to the next level? So our goal as spirits is to see the lesson, recognize it for what it is, and move on from there. Again, we are not given anything that we cannot handle. So, just a little short message to share with you today. Respect the lesson to achieve realignment with oneness. Until next time, peace.